Ladies and gentlemen, your 2015 Humanitarian Innovation Talent Show is about to begin. We are going to introduce our special introducer, Hunter Hunt.
Thanks, and it's my pleasure to introduce the All-Stars, but let me just see if I could just give a little bit of context about them. All of you are in this room because we're in different organizations, we do different things, but at the end of the day, it's all about the individual human dignity and how do we address that. And I tell folks, I don't recall taking and acing a test in the womb where God said, right, white, male, American, wealthy with a loving family. I'm pretty certain that refugees and those who are in our most fragile environments didn't fail a test to end up there. And again, we're all united with the fact that it's about the person and how can we bring the greatest potential of the human being out. And this is where I think the All-Stars is an absolutely fabulous and fascinating group because it is a grassroots organization that started in the poorest communities of New York City, saying, you know what, we all have something to give. Even if we don't have any money, even if we don't have resources, we are part of a community. And they began organizing around a very simple concept that through the art and act of performance, you can create greater self-awareness and a greater awareness of your community and an understanding that we all have a role to play. It's not just donors, it's not just recipients, it's all of us are on equal footing figuring out how to make this world a better place. They've expanded out of New York. They're now in the Bay Area. They're in Chicago. They're in Dallas. They're in London. And they're moving internationally as well. It is a fabulous organization. I think you'll have a lot of fun. And so with no further ado, here come the All-Stars.
Thank you. Thank you, Hunter. Hello, everyone. Bring the team on up here. Come on up, team. I'm Gabrielle Kurlander. I'm the CEO of the All-Stars Project. Welcome to our All-Stars Talent Show, Performing Humanitarianism. All of the conference goers you're going to see today on the stage have created their performances just in the last few hours, so let's give them a big round of applause just for that. Just amazing. Just a few words about the All-Stars. For over 2 decades, we've used the developmental power of performance to transform the lives of youth and poor communities. As Hunter said, we're in 8 American cities. We're also around the world. We in cities as diverse as Makuna, Uganda, Juarez, Mexico, London, and Tokyo. And at the All-Stars, everyone is a star. Now, you might ask, why perform? Well, I think that Richard Schechner, who's the founder of performance studies, put it very well. He said, to perform is to explore, to play, to experiment with new relations. To perform is to cross borders, not only geographical, but emotional, ideological, political, and personal. To perform is to become someone else and yourself at the same time, to empathize, react, grow, and change. And at the All-Stars, we say, if you can perform on stage, you can perform in life. So no matter what people's country, culture, or background are, every human being on the planet has this capacity to perform. So that's what we do at All-Stars, and we bring it out, and you're going to see it right here, right now, today. And so we're going to get underway. I'd like to first, our team here, we wanted to introduce ourselves to you. So we'll just start with quick introductions. Again, I'm Gabrielle Kurlander, and I'm the CEO. I've been the CEO for about 26 years. My background is in theater. I'm an actor and theater director and a community organizer, and I have the great fortune of bringing performance and helping to change the world and bring hope and joy to people all over.
Hi, everyone. My name is Brian Mullen. I'm a playwright and a theater maker, and actually 12 years ago, I studied here. I did a master's in English studying Shakespeare for 2 years, which was A wonderful experience, but also an experience that made me want to get out into the world and out of the confines of Oxford and using what I'd learned here to impact the world. I was really lucky to then go to New York and work for 6 years, first as a volunteer community organizer, creating politically engaged theater with young people from some of the inner city communities in New York. When I moved to London, where I now work with a number of theater institutions, I was really lucky because I met Chantel, who also knew the All-Stars, and together we're making All-Stars London.
Hello everyone, my name is Chantel and I grew up in Poplar. Anybody heard of Poplar? Yeah? In East London. In East London, it's quite a poor area where I grew up, and I fell in love with drama at a very young age, and I wanted to use drama to change the world, and I thought that teaching was the way to do that. But during my degree, I found out that it's not so much the way. I didn't really like the teaching side of things. And thankfully, I connected with All Stars in New York, and I was a fellowship there, and I really worked on their talent show program, which was great, and I wanted to bring it back to London. So I thought, why not start in Tower Hamlets, where I grew up, where it's poor, and young people could really benefit from what All Stars has to offer. So that's what I did, and that's what Brian and I are now doing over in Tower Hamlets.
Chantel. My name is Chris. I'm the Chief Development and Operations Officer for the All-Stars Project. Along with Gabrielle, I've helped raise over $100 million for innovative grassroots programs like ours across the country. I lead a team that raises $10 million annually. We manage relationships with 5,000 individual, corporate, and foundation funders. So you might imagine I spend most of my time thinking about money and talking about money, so being here today is really fun and a change of character. And I also prove the point that All Stars will put the least talented people on stage up front proudly, so I'm glad to be here.
Hello everyone, my name is Nikel Brown Eyes Brown. I am a 25-year veteran of the All-Stars Project, and I'm a product of the project because I met the All-Stars at a time where I was a young mother growing up in Queens, New York. I was a high school dropout, and I didn't have too much of any kind of outlook on my life, but I did like hip-hop music. So a young lady heard me rapping one day, and she gave me a flyer to this great program, and I went thinking I was seeking a music career or something where I could, become famous. And when I got there, I got a chance to meet a lot of people that I normally wouldn't have met in my neighborhood. And they taught me through performance how to perform new things on and off stage, which allowed me to grow and become a successful person. But I got another way that I like to talk about how performance changes me. If you put that music on, I want to tell y'all in my own way, because this is the way I know how to express myself. And I'm going to need your help too in order to come along by clapping your hands put together, because you can change anything by the way you walk, by the way you talk, and the way you think, and the way you react. And the only way I know how to say it is like this. Come on, y'all, put your hands together. Come on, come on, come on. You could change what you talk, your walk, the fork in the road. Like choice, you choose, performing a role. Changing everything, a journey through life's open doors. Perform, reform, people, the choice is yours. You could change what you talk, your walk, the fork in the road. Like choice, you choose, performing a role. Changing everything, a journey through life's open doors. Perform, reform, people, the choice is yours. I give you the challenge to change things. For many the same things, stuck on your luck, create and rearrange things. The choice is yours. Do you know I have a clue? Stay true to the game, but keep it true within you. You have the power to hold it down when anger comes around. The power to fix the frown when no one else can be found. To wipe away the tears from years of fears. The power to do right, the power to act right, the power to left rights, wrongs and make it right. The power to go through, the power to act you or me, he, she, whatever it'll be. Changing everything away your life, shining so bright. Step for step, changing darkness into light. You can change what you say on any given day. So perform your play, create a new way today. Yeah, create a new today. Cause you could change what you talk, your walk, the fork in the road. Life choice, you choose, performing a role. Changing everything, a journey through life's open doors. Perform, reform, people, the choice is yours. You could change what you talk, your walk, the fork in the road. Life choice, you choose, performing a role. Changing everything, a journey through life's open doors. Perform, reform, people, the choice is yours. Come on, y'all, give a round of applause for my foot soldiers. That's right, you can change any and everything by what you perform. And right now, we're going to use that performance to warm you up. So I'm going to welcome to the stage again my teammates, Chantel and Brian.
So, ladies and gentlemen, every performance is only as good as its audience. As you can see, this is some of our All-Stars London work. We do a lot of work warming up our volunteers and our audiences to make our shows a success. So, yeah, it was a good hand that you guys gave Brown Eyes, but I think you guys need a little bit loosening up. Don't you think so, Chantal? Okay.
So we're going to warm you up.
Yeah.
So that means you're going to put down your notepad, your arm, put down your pen, and we're going to get on our feet. Yeah? Stand up.
It's going to be safe and easy.
Okay? All you have to do is copy me. Okay? We ready? Venga, venga.
Venga, venga. That was all right.
Are we ready? Venga, venga.
Venga, venga.
Venga, venga.
Venga, venga.
Hula, hula.
Hula, hula.
Hula, hula.
Hula, hula.
All right, now we're going to swap it over. So when I say venga, venga, you are going to say? Are we ready? Venga, venga.
Hula, hula.
Venga, venga.
Hula, hula.
And when I say hula, hula, you will say?
Venga, venga.
All right. Hula, hula.
Venga, venga.
Venga, venga.
Hula, hula.
Hula, hula.
Venga, venga.
Venga, venga.
Hula, hula.
Give yourselves a big
All right. You know, we're all together. We're working together. That's the whole thing we've been talking about in this conference. So we need to have a little togetherness. Can everybody hold up their left index finger and then hold out their right palm of their hand? If you're standing isolated, you got to be near somebody to make this happen. What I want you to do is to put the finger into the palm of someone else's hand. Yeah? So everybody should have one finger. That's beautiful. All right. So what I am going to say, everybody, I am going to count to 3. It's a little competition. This is the only competitive thing in this whole talent show. So when I count to 3, each hand does a different thing. The finger has to raise up before the hand can grab it. Oh, Chantel got me. While this hand, if there was a person next to me, try to grab the finger of the other person. So you're trying to grab your partner's finger on one side while escaping on the other. Okay? I want to see, honestly, if anyone succeeded in both. All right? On the count of 3, and 1, 2, 3. World premiere performers. They've taken risks. They've innovated. They are bold. You guys have to perform for each and every act as if they are the greatest thing you've ever seen. Right? Right? All the way through. We can't get tired.
No.
So should we practice that,
Let's
Chantal?
practice. Okay.
Yeah?
So let's pretend that I've just performed.
Yeah?
Perform.
Everybody's going to give Chantal the biggest hand you've ever seen. I like the foot stomping was great. We don't even need to do it again. So ladies and gentlemen, you as an audience are performing brilliantly. You can sit down, but please give a big hand to our MC, Brown Eyes.
Thank you, Brian and Chantel. Now, I want us to continue that good audience response by putting your hands together for Chris Street, who's going to come to the stage and give you some of his philosophical thoughts. Put your hands together. I'm tongue twisted. Y'all got me so excited. Philosophical, that's the word. Give me a round of applause for that, y'all. Put your hands together for Professor Development.
An excerpt from psychiatrist and author Lenore Terr. Quote, "When we play, we sense no limitations. In fact, when we are playing, we are usually unaware of ourselves. Self-observation goes out the window. We forget all those past lessons of life, forget our potential foolishness, forget ourselves. We immerse ourselves in the act of play, and we become free."
Thank you, Chris, AKA Professor Development. Now, today we had a very exciting day. We had a lot of people come out to our workshops of performing humanitarianism, and we created some performances. So I want to invite the first group up here. We created all this stuff just today, so it's not something that we had put together, and I'm sure you're going to love it. So when we have Hip Hop Humanity come to the stage, put your hands together for Hip Hop Humanity. Okay, and I want to say that this young man right here, Mr. Raphael, he's going to be my co-host for the group. He was such a wonderful announcer that I decided that he was going to co-host this performance with me. So he's going to be our announcer. But before we do that, I just want to go down the line and let some of the volunteers and the people who took that risk to come out and perform with us today, I want them to just give their name and who they're here with, or so you can know who they are.
My name is Megan, and I'm a PhD student here in geography. My name is Evan, and I'm a student in the Refugee Studies Center and a member of the Humanitarian Innovation Project.
I'm Julia Well, and I just finished my MPhil in development.
I'm Ellie, and I do zoology.
And Raphael.
Please put your hands together for Hip Hop Humanity rapping their own songs that Brown Eyes made together, and they all created them themselves.
All right, start the music. All right, we created this hip hop rap. You join along the way you want, and we're gonna do this like this. We're gonna say the hook line. I want you guys, you know what? I want you guys to help me with the hook line. So I want y'all to repeat after me when y'all hear this and say this, because y'all gonna come in as they're rapping their rap. Is that okay? That's how I'm gonna get y'all. So it goes like this. Y'all can chime in. Listen to this. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we go. Hey, superstar, who's gonna perform? All stars rapping reality. Come on. Hey, superstar, who's gonna perform? All stars rapping reality. Come on. Hey, superstar, who's gonna perform? Come on. All stars rapping reality. Come on. Hey, superstar, who's gonna perform? All stars rapping reality. Come on. Hey, superstar, who's gonna perform? All stars rapping reality. Come on.
If we don't take risks, how can we change?
Try and fail, even if it's strange.
I come from the border of Italy and France.
We want you to stop this anti-migrant stance.
We're here today because we want to play.
Exploring humanitarianism is the way.
My name is Raphael, and I'm on the highway.
Developing every single day. Come on, hey, superstar, who's gonna perform? All stars rapping reality. Come on, y'all, hey, superstar, who's gonna perform? All stars rapping reality. Come on.
My name is Ellie, and I study fruit flies.
When we heard that, it was quite a surprise.
Freedom of mobility is a human right.
Not just for people who happen to be white.
Innovate, collaborate, failure is okay.
We want justice every single day.
My name is Raphael, and I'm on the highway.
We're developing every single day. Come on, hey, superstar, who's gonna perform? All stars rapping reality. Come on, y'all, hey, superstar, who's gonna perform? All stars rapping reality. Come on, give yourselves a round of applause. Give it up for Hip Hop Humanity. Now that's what I'm talking about. They really took a risk and they had a great time. So I got to find out who's coming up next, but I'll bring them up right now. I don't even know who's coming up next, I'm sorry. Okay, so the next up, we've been doing a lot of work all around the world for Performing the World, and we want to show you a video. We have just bought Uganda. If we're going to bring let me get the piece of paper. I'm sorry. I'm confused with all these papers. I'm sorry. Give me a round of applause for making mistakes. And let me tell you why I want you to give me a round of applause for making mistakes, because when we make mistakes, that's how we learn. That's how we grow. That's how we develop. So every time I make a mistake, I pat myself on the back, because I always say from that, I'll grow and I'll learn something else. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you Peter Nsobuga. He is a leader of the Performing the World movement, which involves thousands of people around the world that are building positive human development at grassroots level. Peter is the director of Hope for Youth in Uganda, an organization that provides food, clothing, and education for children in central Uganda's Mukono district. He is doing some powerful work, some really powerful work, y'all. But let's take a look at the video so you can see a little more about what he's doing.
Uganda, first of all, is a third world country. It's very nice, the people are friendly, the weather is good, but then being a third world, there is a lot of poverty. So many things happen there, diseases, the effects of war, it's still there. Then the disease, HIV/AIDS, when you add it all together with poverty, then it's a challenging situation. So when you come and bring out such ideas like the All-Stars in the community, where you can bring in people to bring in ideas, new ideas, we can try to develop ourselves and see what the future is for our people. Ugandan Children League need the all-star approach. With this approach, they feel like, now I think I can. They feel like they belong. I can expose myself, I can come out and speak about this. I can ask in a community, I belong somewhere, I can come out and say something which can be heard. A child who is not performing well in class, you will see them on Saturday, there is vigor in them. They come up, they want to perform, and later on, by the way, it helps them in class when they go back to class because of that performance that they have been doing there. My dream for the Uganda All-Stars is to see them, the young people, achieve their goals.
Peter Nsobuga in Uganda, y'all. I just want to say something before I go into my next act. How many of you ever had a pair of shoes that you wore and they were just your best shoes? You broke them in and they were so comfortable you just didn't even want to throw them away. A lot of people can relate to that, right? Well, for me, that's what performance is for me in my life. It was trying on a different performance. You know, a lot of people ask, what does performing has to do with life? Well, it has a lot to do with life. Because if you perform something ahead of what you're trying to become, and you keep practicing that, you'll eventually become it with ease and get comfortable in that role. But you can't ever achieve those developmental stages unless you perform it and begin practicing it. So that's why it's so important to perform off stage, you know, more so than even on stage, though those types of performances do delight us. And I just had to add that because it really, you know, touches my heart for what Peter is doing internationally with the All-Stars and performing for young children in Uganda. Okay, so with that, we're going to bring you back into the show, and I want y'all to put your hands again for Professor Development. Come on, y'all, give that thunderous round of applause.
A quote from Martin Luther King Jr. I believe firmly that our world is in dire need of a new organization. The International Association for the Advancement of Creative Maladjustment. Through such maladjustment, we will be able to emerge from the bleak and desolate midnight of man's inhumanity to man into the bright and glittering daybreak of freedom and justice.
Wonderful quote, Chris. All right, once again, we have another performer that's coming to you from our humanitarianism workshop that we did this afternoon. She has a poem. Her name is Evan Easton Calabria. She's a performance poet and a member of the Humanitarian Innovation Project. So put your hands together as she comes to the stage with her self-written piece. Give it up for Evan Easton Calabria. Come on, let's go, let's go.
Hello? Is this on? Yes? Okay. I'm sharing a poem that I wrote 4 years ago. And not only did I write it 4 years ago, but I realized this afternoon that I wrote it 4 years ago today. And I wrote it because there was an opportunity in a very loving community to perform a piece in a talent show. And so there's a beautiful synchronicity to today. I've performed this poem once in 4 years. I printed out a copy and made a few changes. I wrote this a year after coming back from a year of travel looking at post-conflict reconciliation in East Africa and Southern Africa. And it took me about a year to write this poem. It took me about a year to share it. So I'm sharing it now in the spirit of innovation and of change. Or maybe innovation meaning change. The dolphins. Or, this is what I cannot say. On the day you visit the hot springs that only appear at the low tide of the full moon, Mary, you tell me, stood on a rock on the shore and called the dolphins in. When I hear this, I think, this is how I want my stories to begin. And so I start to tell you, sometimes I talk about Africa like this, Africa, as if it were an adventure story, as if it were one country, as if it had one flag. This is how I start to talk about it, and stop. The woman with a pen behind one ear tells me, you don't need to be strong. You don't need to be poetic. All you have to do is share the story that is yours to claim. And so, what I can tell you is this. In Uganda, there are no dolphins. So often in Kampala, I was sad. In hospitals, there are babies that are too small, lying alone in cribs, men not old enough to be old, shaking alone on the floor. When I went to Africa, I was 21 and alone. I tell you, these stories left me sore and slowly seething. Now the memories I breathe bleed on me. Like radiation, I see flashes of their faces, women twisting their hands as they talk through their tears. Because in Congo, rape and fear are no longer forbidden four-letter words. Grief is not a four-letter word the woman with a pen behind one ear wants me to hear. Trauma isn't one either. All I can tell you is, there I did not need to see for them to rape away my beauty and belief. And so, when you tell me of Mary and the dolphins, how she stood strong on that rock by the shore, all I feel is envy for your story. More, I tell you, more. I want to take your words and mix them with my own, pull strings of syllables out of gray water and memory's washer, sift through the dark and the light before hanging it all up to dry in the sun. I want to write a new poem, a poem where there are no dolphins, where I will not speak of Africa at all. Instead, there will be a moon that keeps on growing fuller, because, like the water that boils, we all have so much to say. And on this day, I know that even if I am not poetic, you will make space for me beside you. Together, we will watch summer's sun sinking slowly behind sky. I'll remember Uganda's nights and Kampala's lights, how twilight took on the hue of smoke, how I became imbued with stories I would somehow learn to tell. Yes, someday I will stand on a rock on a shore, and when I do, I will see that there is an edge here, too, and I will not be afraid. I will recite a new poem, and this is what I cannot say will not be its name. Thank you.
Put your hands together for Evan. Yeah. What a beautiful poem. That was my first time hearing it too. Beautiful poem, Evan. And now I would like to invite Gabrielle Kurlanda back to the stage with me. Put your hands together for Gabrielle.
Thank you so much, Evan. That was just so beautiful. You know, one of the issues being raised at the conference is what we call things, how groups of people are labeled, what names we give them, how we identify refugees, who are refugees, are they dependent, are they isolated, you know, how are they characterized? This issue of what we name things is not inconsequential, and this song is about that. Where were we standing when Malcolm was lying, when Martin was dying, when children were crying, with Birmingham bleeding? What were we feeling when Detroit was flaming? Who did the framing? Who named them black riots? Who makes all the
It wasn't you and I.
Who makes our reality, you or me? Rules to govern our life's creativity. Growing up in poverty was all I could see. Streets of oppression all around me. Who named it brutality? Dealing immorality. Pulling on my strength, saying it's the fallacy. Youth for change, who called it a game? Ferguson's burning, really who's to blame? Who named it race by the color of face? Divided, decided, time and place. Who named them riots? Who made the lies fit? Created refugees hitting right where the heart is. Flowing like a melody cause life's a dance. Performing the world, you see me taking a stance. Rise and shine, running for time. One life to live, yours and mine. Who's writing the story? Who's still in the glory? I don't think it's you and I. Who makes our reality, you or me? Rules to govern my life's creativity. Growing up in poverty was all I could see. Streets of oppression all around me. Who named it brutality? Dealing immorality. Pulling on my strength, saying it's a fallacy. Youth for change, who called it a game? Ferguson's burning, really who's to blame? Who named it race by the color of face? Divided, decided, time and place. Who named the riots? Who made the laws fit? Created refugees hitting right where the heart is. Flowing like a melody cause life's a dance. Performing the world, you see me taking a stance. Rise and shine, running for time. One life to live, yours and mine. Who's writing the story? Who's still in the glory? I don't think it's you and I.
It isn't you and I. And one day we might make it ours.
Yeah, we can make it out.
And one day we might make it ours.
Yeah, we can make it out.
And one day we might make it ours.
Yeah, we can make it
ours.
Who named them black riots? Who makes all the lies fit? Who writes up the story? Who steals all the glory? Who sits on the jury? It isn't you and I. It isn't you and I. It isn't you and I.
That was a song, Who Made All the Lies Fit, with the original rap by Brown Eyes, and the song was written by the All-Stars founder, Fred Newman, who was a radical philosopher, therapist, and theater director. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, coming back to the stage for one final philosophical quote, put your hands together again for Professor Development.
I leave you with a quote from All Stars founder, Dr. Fred Newman. He preferred to be called Fred. What has become very important to me is helping people to come to know who they are, not by seeing what they're made of, but by seeing what they make.
Thank you, Professor Development. Give him a loud and wonderful round of applause. Thank you. Yes. Great performance, audience. Now I would like to bring up our last group that put together a wonderful performance for you here at our humanitarianism workshop. They're going to come up, and I need the name of the group again. Put your hands together for Change Conflict Makers. Is that it? Conflict Change Makers. That's what it is. Put your hands together for conflict change makers.
Is it on? Yeah?
We are constantly fighting with ourselves and with each other, trying to resolve tensions, differences that we make up or rationalize, justify, but really we're more similar than different. Conflicts could lessen if we actively listen to each other, empathize with each other, and try to build something better.
Conflict.
I hate that the world is in
conflict.
conflict and people
Conflict
bear
is
the
when
brunt
people
of
don't
state
like conflicts.
conflicts.
Change, adaptation, evolution. We need ways to move beyond the static and become dynamic.
Change, small change, big change, medium-sized change. Change is change. It can be innovative change, disruptive change, stupid change, non-sustainable and sustainable change. But change is change.
Change and face the strange. Changes. The people are changing. Change. The seasons change. People change. Lives change. We change. Relationships change.
We risk being trapped in a hole without vision, direction, and trajectory.
And change is good because it forces us to step out of our conflict zone and embrace something new, something that has the potential to impact people.
Living is hard. Living is easy. Living life is challenging. Change. Towers of people, nature, urban, country, flying across the globe.
Whether iterative or disruptive, the world needs to respond to opportunities and constraints.
Change is crucial. Change has the potential to impact people. Change is crucial for development, peace. It is necessary for us to move forward, to be productive, to improve life and people's well-being.
Change. Apples and oranges and bananas in a painting, on a wall, hanging, hang-ups.
But when we change, we need to preserve what is good, true, and authentic.
Change is necessary for survival. Change is like the bedrock of life.
Change the music, change the wallpaper, change your shirt, change your trousers, and especially your socks.
Change is not easy. Well, some changes. Change your clothes, change your hair, change your job, change your location. Location and change. What happens if you can't change your location?
Because your socks smell like you've been at a conference all day, on your feet, waiting for shoes off moment, and maybe a dip into the cool water of the river.
Trapped. If I can't change one thing, what leads me to believe I can change another? Do we have the right to change? What does change even mean?
All right. Put your hands together for the conflicted change makers. I got it about right that time. It's the conflicted change makers. And I just want to add to them and say they came to our workshop with nothing. And they created all of that. Give them another round of applause for that. That was a great performance. And all of it was originally written by them. So I thought that was a wonderful thing and a great performance, the conflicted change makers. I really loved your performance. So now I want to show you a video of some of the groundbreaking things that we're doing in the United States with the All Stars Project. So let's take a look at the video and let's pretend.
Let's go. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Community Showcase right here at NJ Pack. We got a great show for you today. We got the All-Stars Council that will perform for you today.
We are the All-Stars Project, and we believe in performance changing everything. That's what we're doing nationally. That's what we're doing in Chicago. That's what we're doing in the San Francisco Bay Area. That's what we're doing in New York. And guess what? Right here in Newark, New Jersey.
Yep.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light?
It's showtime.
I came back with a full clip. Who on power ball, who on flip money? Sorry, I don't wanna do nothing that I might regret.
My head hurts, but I am strong. My eyes are full of tears, but I'm an explorer.
A program of the All-Stars Project of New Jersey. We want to thank you all.
Listen, y'all, before you leave, I want to take y'all a journey into your future development by pretending. And I want y'all to pretend today with us by pretending that you're already at your greatest potential. And I want y'all to join along as we kick a little something like this for y'all. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Let's pretend we can all just do it then. Pretend, yeah, we can get it in. Here today, let's take it away. All-Star troops, are you ready to play? Come on, let's pretend we can all just do it then. Do it then. Pretend, yeah, we can get it in. Here today, let's take it away. I said All-Star troops. For the New York, New Jersey All-Stars Project, I want to bring all my performers up on the stage, and I want us to continue to pretend it today till we meet our highest potential, and I want y'all to come along with us on this journey, okay? Come on, come on, come on. Put your hands together. Come on, come on, come on. Your dreams like, can you bring it to life? Imagine in your mind, believe in the hype, but true vision, development and learning collision. Leading the way with play is a decision to make. Let's take time to pretend, performing the role from beginning to end. Study me, study you, we do what we do. Together we learn like 1 and 1 makes 2. Play along with my song and never go wrong. You see me on the block with the youth growing strong. Ridiculous it seems, but check out my team, developing every day as we dream. Come on, let's pretend we can all just do it then. Pretend, yeah, we can get it in here today. Let's take it away. All-Star troops, are you ready to play? Come on, let's pretend we can all just do it then. Pretend, yeah, we can get it in here today. Let's take it away. All-Star troops, are you ready to play? Yeah, are you ready to play? Sing along, y'all. Are you ready to play? Come on, come on. Are you ready to play? Yeah, are you ready to play? Are you ready to play? Give us for all of the wonderful performance, my team members, All-Stars Project London, All-Stars Project New York, All-Stars Project New Jersey, All-Stars Project International all around the world. Come out and be a part of us. First, please come and join us tomorrow at our interactive workshop at 1345, that's 145 New York time. And let's keep conversing about performing and development, and you can learn a little more, ask any questions. We'll be glad to have you tomorrow. Secondly, Brian and Chantel, All Stars London. They are staging an all-star talent show with young people from Poplar, East London on Saturday, August 1st. If you are in town or anywhere around, we'd love for you to come out, support the youth, and come out, develop yourself. You'll get involved, you'll learn from them, and they will definitely learn from you. And finally, we are organizing our 2016 Performing the World Conference in New York City. Ask any of us how you can become a part of it, because we would love to have you come out and bring this internationally wherever you are. So it's been much fun working with you, much fun performing with you. You guys have a wonderful day. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and see you guys tomorrow.